I'm sure that you've heard of the Chase trifecta and how it's so great to get into the ecosystem based off the benefits you get off these cards. But today, I'm going to be going over one of them, that being the Freedom Flex. This card is actually my first Chase card that I got so I can get into the Chase ecosystem. Funny story is that I'm actually an authorized user for this card because I wasn't sure if I'll fall under the 524 rule. And if you don't know what that rule is, it's completely okay because I'm going to be explaining more into detail what that rule is and what the Chase Freedom Flex card has to offer. So let's hop into it. As for the card itself, I would consider it to be a beginner or entry level card. And usually with the entry level cards, they tend to give us a welcome bonus. As of the day of this video is recorded, the Chase Freedom Flex currently has a $200 sign-on bonus. And to get this bonus, you have to spend $500 within the first 3 months of having the card, which is really easy to achieve since many people in today's world spend way more than $500 within a month. Although this card is advertised as the cashback card, you will receive a bonus in points, which will be equivalent to 20,000 points. And not only that, all your purchases will also be converted to points. Now you may be wondering why this is. It's because the Freedom Flex is part of the trifecta setup. This allows you to transfer points from one card to another. It also allows you to maximize your points with a card like the Chase Sapphire Preferred that opens transfer partners for you to get more value out of your points if you enjoy traveling. On the other hand, if you want to just use the card to get only cash back, then it's totally possible as well. Chase even allows you to transfer your cash back to an external bank account if you don't already bank with Chase directly. Now where the card shines is from the 5% cashback rotating quarterly categories. And for those that don't know what that means, by quarterly, it's simply 12 months divided by 4, which leaves us with 3. The 3 represents how many months are in each quarter. So January through March is the first quarter, April through June is the second quarter, July through September is the third quarter, and October through December is the fourth quarter. If this is too complicated, then you can definitely just go on the Chase website where they have all these already done for you. But the reason why these quarters are important is because Chase gives us 5% cash back on certain categories within specific months. Since we are in the beginning of the year, I'll be using Chase categories last year to give a good example. So in quarter 1, it was groceries, fitness clubs and gym memberships, self-care and spa services. Quarter 2 was select hotel booking, restaurants and Amazon. Quarter 3 was gas stations, EV charging, select live entertainment and movie theaters. Quarter 4 was McDonald's, PayPal, pet shops and vet services, and select charities. Do keep in mind that they do change every year as well, so you're not guaranteed that the quarters will be the same for the upcoming year. Although sometimes they do, but it's good to have an open mind. However, the rotating categories are not the only way to gain cash back. The Chase Freedom Flex also allows you to earn 3% on dining, which includes takeout and eligible delivery services, 3% on drugstore purchases, and 1% on all other purchases. As a side note, when combining the 3% dining category with the 5% PayPal rotating category, that's if the PayPal is available in the quarter, then you will receive a total of 7% cash back. Now hold on, didn't you just say 5% and 3%? That should be 8%. Well, looking into Chase's fine print, when making a dining purchase, for example, Chase already gives you the 1%, but in order to get the 3%, they add the additional 2%. So having that in mind, the rotating categories are the same way, with 1% included, and the Chase adds 4% to get a total of 5%. Let's say we order a pizza and they allow us to use PayPal to check out. The transaction will look something like this. 1% from Chase, 2% from dining, which equals 3, and then 4% from PayPal, which equals 5%, because the additional 1% was already included in the transaction. Hopefully this didn't confuse anyone, but this was something that I found out and wanted to mention just in case you want to take advantage of this little hack. An additional benefit that Chase Freedom Flex offers is the low intro APR for the first 15 months. This feature would be handy for people who want to transfer their debt from other credit cards to a 0% APR to help them get out of interest payments. If you do plan on doing this, do keep in mind that there are transfer fees associated with this. The entry fee is either $5 or 3% of each transfer, whichever is greater, and transfers have to be made within 60 days of the account opening. After that, the fee will either be $5 or 5% of each transfer, whichever is greater. Do use this feature responsibly because if you do use it, it's to help you get out of debt. Many people do this and only pay the minimum payment, which kind of defeats the purpose of using the 0% APR. Not only that, but if you do transfer over some debt and your 15 months are up, then you will be charged with an interest rate between 19.49% to 28.24%. Again, use this responsibly because the purpose of this channel is to help people take advantage of features that the banks have and not use them to get into more debt. This card also provides service and protection features like zero liability protection, purchaser protection, which covers eligible new purchases for 120 days against damage or theft up to $500 per item, extended warranty protection, cell phone protection, which covers $800 per claim and $1,000 per 12-month period in cell phone protection against covered theft or damage. Cell phone must be listed on your monthly cell phone bill when you pay with your eligible card. Auto rental coverage. This coverage provides reimbursement for theft and collision damage for most rental vehicles. As for applying for a card, there's a hidden rule called the 524 rule. The 524 rule refers to an unofficial policy by Chase Bank that prevents you from being approved for a new Chase credit card if you have opened 5 or more new credit card accounts from any bank within the past 24 months. Now, I don't know why Chase does this, but I believe it's to value them more over other banks, which is a pretty good tactic to use so they can have more people apply for their products rather than applying for other credit card issuers. For me personally, I knew I passed over the 524 rule based on Credit Karma. So my wife ended up applying for the card and added me as an authorized user so I can get into their ecosystem, which I do plan on applying for myself in the future when I fall back under the 524 rule. If you don't know if you're over the 524 rule, I highly recommend using Credit Karma because you can use either their Equifax or the TransUnion report that is provided by Credit Karma to see your credit card ages. Then just simply add the ones that are lower than 2 years, then you have the total count of how many cards you have open under the 2-year mark. If you do fall under the 524 rule and plan on applying for the Freedom Flex, then please use the referral link below so that way you can support this channel. Something that I forgot to mention is that this card is actually a 0 annual fee, so you're not having to pay for the features or the benefits this card is offering. Now, who is this card for? I would say it's for anyone that's either on the cashback or even on the travel side of credit cards. To be able to get 5% on certain categories is definitely hard to beat, especially with a no annual fee. Although there is the Discover It cashback card that also has the rotating quarterly categories. But now you're looking at the possibility of taking one of the slots of your 524 rule. I would personally recommend starting with the Freedom Flex card because you have the option of either redeeming cash back from your points or transferring them down the line to a Sapphire card in the future. The Discover It cashback, on the other hand, is only cash back, so you won't be able to redeem for travel in the future. It all comes down to personal preference, but I love the fact that I'm given the option of either cashback or travel with the Freedom Flex. With that being said, I hope this video informed you enough to help you decide whether this card is right for you or not. But as always, let's try to keep things simple and see you on the next one.